Go to website. We get people, yeah, foundation. Give me Jerry.
Very nice.
Thank you. Johnny right here. Want to get a picture out front? Nobody. Oh, you can't come? You want me to take a picture? Take a picture?
Did we wave?
Yeah, I wonder what they're saying right now.
One guy had a gun case.
No, he didn't.
Huh? The guy behind the chimney gun.
He's looking at me and I'm looking at him.
The guy right there walking behind him took his gun out.
The funny thing is that guy
right.
Or they just snuck away because they see I'm filming them.
Come on, King George. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was just talking to His Eminence.
No, remember the 5th of November, okay, which was the day that Guy Fawkes once said he was going to blow up. He didn't succeed, but he said, I'm going to do it. This guy today, you know, in 2015, it's powerful, the
symbology, the imagery.
Speechwriter, I mean, the research was just great. And he manages to turn the people around by doing what he does. And at the end of the movie, there are these thousands of people marching on Parliament on November 5th. And the military is defending Parliament. They're standing there with all their guns aimed at all of these people, and you don't know what's going to happen, but eventually the government stands down and the people walk through their ranks, and only then are they willing to take their masks off and be identified in this police state with cameras all over the place. Because they've succeeded, they've won.
Exactly.
Of course, Parliament blows up. That helps. Yeah. So we decided, you know, to give expression to the fact that we're becoming a police state and people are becoming afraid to speak out, and we chose this character to use. Yeah. So you got a decision coming out of the D.C. Court of Appeals on our case. We've asked the court. It's a first impression case. It's a landmark case. The courts have never declared what the people's rights are and the government's obligations under that petition clause, and the founders put it there to hold the government accountable. And the founders said, in 1774, I mean, the right to petition first shows up in historical documents in the Magna Carta. There's a section 61 in the Magna Carta. And if you remember your history a little bit, it's Runnymede, it's a big field, and the people are upset, and they've got their barons, and the king comes down and they negotiate, and the king agrees to sign the Magna Carta. Well, on section 61 of the document he signs, he says, he agrees to this. He says, if the people have grievances, they'll bring their grievances to at least 4 of the 25 barons, who will then bring it to me, and if I'm out of the country, the Chief Justice. And if we don't redress the grievance in 41 days, then the people and the whole community have a right to take our castles, our land, our horses, our everything except my life, the life of the Queen, and the life of the children. So the right to petition has its roots back in that cradle of civilization, you know, that document. But in our own documents, we find its first reference in 1774. But in sitting as the Continental Congress, they passed an act, an 8-page act. You find it in Journal 1 of the Continental Congress on page 105 through 113. So it's an 8-page act.
Sure about that?
Yes, I am. and they passed this. The purpose of it was to send it to the inhabitants of Quebec in an effort to encourage the Canadians to join our revolution. And here you have the founders talking about our great rights. And in talking about the first of the great rights, the right to government based upon the consent of the people, they said this, quote, when rulers want money from the people and they have in any manner oppressed the people may retain their money until their grievances are redressed and thus peaceably procure relief without disturbing the public tranquility. And that's all we're doing.
Exactly.
And then a year later, Jefferson said the same thing in powerful words. And then a year later, 1776, if you remember your Declaration of Independence, there's all of the grievances listed, and at the end of those, you get what's called the capstone grievance, the grievance that caps all the others. He says, and we have petitioned for redress of these grievances, and our repeated petitions have been met with repeated injury. Therefore, we're separating, we're withdrawing our allegiance. We don't like it, come get us. I mean, basically.
Right.
And so it was the capstone. They petitioned over and over again and got nowhere. They wouldn't even listen to them. Well, it's like Gonzales today saying, we don't have to listen or respond. Well, fine, then you pay the consequences.
Right.
Exactly.
Because it's called popular sovereignty. That's what's at stake here. And our ability to hold the government accountable.
Ha ha ha.